My head hurts. Press the enter button. I feel like someone has bashed my head in. What a lovely way to begin a game. With a concussion. I need to get out of here. That much I can empathise with. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a little game called Westwich Castle, which was described to me as a little game in which you are a prisoner in a medieval castle and must escape. And apparently it lasts about half an hour, and it involves sort of solving puzzles and exploring around and things like that. But not really at the moment, because all it seems to involve is sitting still, unless I can open the door. Unless E is not the interact button, maybe it is click. Let me try clicking on a few things and see if that does any good. I don't know. I was not informed as to what the controls were, but looking by the looking at the angle on these shelves, I reckon they're meant to be the other way around. But never mind. I know prison is meant to be dull, but seriously, this is a little dry. Oh, it is E that you press. All right then, fair enough. But you scoot under here. Yeah, I was eager to play this because it reminded me of that Attimore game that we played some time ago. What is that? Do you see a little sliver of light there? I think it is light. I don't think it's a gold coin, which is what I initially mistook it for. But anyhow, I have escaped. This prison seems to have rather a serious flaw in it, but never mind. By which I do not mean the thing we are standing on. Okay, let's get this light so that we can hopefully see what we're doing a little bit better. There we go. Very, very good. Let's open this box and hopefully not find a tonguey beast inside. What the son have I just got? I don't know. Some little packet of polos or something. We can only hide in the cupboard. We can. Oh, what is it? Is it a candle? I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it's some sort of fuel or something for my lantern. I do seem to have plenty of them though, so that's good at least. This also reminds me a little bit, now that we're actually getting into it, reminds me a bit of oh, what under the sun was it called? I cannot remember. I'll edit in the name of it for you. That game where there were like Dungeon Nightmares, perhaps, possibly. I can't quite remember. I think it was called that. It was like 7 different procedurally generated sort of dungeons that you had to go through, and you sort of got stuff and treasure, and then you got a blue book at the end of it, and then you, I don't know, presumably read the book. I can't possibly imagine what else you do with a book. All right, but it's quite quiet. It's quite subtle. I quite like it. Let me take this hammer. Can I bash someone with this hammer? Am I going to go and inflict a bit of revenge on whoever it was that decided to bang my head in? Oh my giddy aunt. I really do not like the ideas of those. I don't have claustrophobia, but I don't think claustrophobia is the main thing that you'd be worried about if you were locked inside one of those things. Some bizarre and bronze variant of an Iron Maiden. Alright. Let's continue to wander around and see what else we can find. Let's go up these little steps. Can I run? Yes, I can. I can scamper with the best of them. So I can. Alright, what do we have in here? I don't know. It's very, I thought it was a sword on the wall at first. Oh no, I think it is. I think it's like a statue of a sword. Or a carving, or whatever the word is. I don't know. Yeah, I rather like this. I like medieval games for the most part. They're a bit underutilized in Oh goodness! I walloped it, so I did. Walloped it good and proper. I generally like medieval games, but they're not very often seen in the indie market, which is a little bit of a shame. More often with things like top-down games and RPG Maker things, then you're more likely to find something in the medieval era. But in your first-person game, not so much, which is a shame really, because I feel like it has a lot of opportunities for A, being unique, and B, being quite spooky. I don't know if this is meant to be a horror game or whether it's meant to be more of like an escape room thing. I sincerely hope that there is a spook or two to be had in it, otherwise we're going to we might get a trifle dry after a while. But let us continue to explore and see what else we can find. Perhaps the greatest horror is figuring out where under the sun everyone's gone. Maybe I can create the perfect servant. A servant who is obedient and always does what he is told. Are those two things not the same? A servant who does not put his own needs above those of his master. I found an old book that describes such a procedure. First, a hole must be drilled in the skull. Then slowly, acid must be instilled through this hole. Oh, goodness. Some sort of sadistic version of Trepanning. How lovely. To be honest with you, and I don't know very much about training individuals, I cannot say that my giddy aunt, that is a long ladder, but never mind, that is not the point. I should not be jealous of the length of another man's ladder. I should be the last person telling you how to train people, because education is not one of my strong suits. But I don't think that drilling skulls into people's brains and then rotting their brains with acid is a dreadfully good idea when it comes to making them obey you. Unless you're trying to, like, burn away their central free will or something. I don't know. I really don't, but that looks like a vaguely sort of, I was going to say English, that's because I thought it was a lion. Actually, it's a dragon, which makes it look a little bit more Welsh. But never mind. Can I go through this door without these guys coming to life and attempting to murder me? This door is locked. Well, fiddlesticks. What about this door? This door is locked. Perhaps I should have seen this coming. There's a nice bit of detail on there. All the little engravings and the little scratches and the, Sorry to stare at your crotch, mate, but just look at the, I know it's not perfect, but I mean, look at the detail on the chainmail. That's a lot more than I would expect from a little game like this. I'll tell you another thing I like about do I need more switches? I must find all the levers. Oh, alright then. I'll tell you another thing I like about medieval games is that they're less likely to have free assets in them. Not that there's anything wrong per se with using free assets. You know, hello sir, my giddy aunt, that is an emotional face. My giddy aunt. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about making something out of free stuff, but still, I don't mind people using free assets when it's not being used as a substitute for effort, right? If it's because like it's like their first project and they're still learning how things work, then you know that's absolutely fine. But if it's because they couldn't be bothered to either design something themselves or come up with something more sort of unique and interesting, then I tend to be a little bit less impressed by free assets. But there seem to be an awful lot less free assets available for medieval stuff. So by playing a game in this era, you are less likely to encounter that sort of stuff. So isn't that lovely? Alrighty then, let us continue on our little quest. So we need 4 of them, and there are 4 doors in this room, presuming that the others are unlocked now. Although saying that, this was shut before and now it's open. So maybe when you get each lever, that opens access to the next one, which would prevent you from picking up 2 at the same time. And I presume that my character wouldn't be able to do that, given that video game protagonists do not seem to have hands that are very good at grasping multiple things at the same time. Perhaps they are Lego people with little Lego hands. There's honestly no way to know, but that is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I can only imagine the amount of diabetes, gout, and vapours that would have been produced after this this very large meal. However, I do notice someone has left some cheese behind, which is dreadfully kind of them. I do get rather peckish as I am attempting to escape from prison. Not entirely sure what I've been arrested for, perhaps yammering on endlessly about incoherent dribble that nobody could possibly be interested in, and I bored all of the dinner guests so terribly that they demanded that the guards come along and drag me away to the dungeons. Can't much say that I would blame them. Alright, what have we got in here? Another one of these, what I presume is a candle, and some carrots, and some corn, and some onions, and cheese, and sausages, and bread, and knives, and fish, and goodness. Oh, a broom. Sorry, never mind. I thought that was at first. I'd rather not. I'd rather not confess that. Is there another lever in here? There's something I can use. Oh, that's what I use them for. I can use them to light candles because I had 10, didn't I? Now I've only got 9. Interesting. Interesting. Were there more candles around here that I could light? These ones are vaguely lit, but not dreadfully so. Interesting. Because presumably each of these Oh, I'll begin to see how this works. They're not candles per se, they're more matches. I see. Perhaps I need to do that in order to sort of demonstrate places that I've been. Like, I'll light a candle somewhere and then I'll know that I've been there before. Well, isn't this romantic? A moonlit bedroom with many books with which you can read some sonnets out of or something. I don't know. I like this green colour. It's nice, nice, bright and vibrant. I approve and appreciate. See if there's any mischievous things in the bedside table. Not really, although I suppose most of the mischievous things that you'd find at a bedroom table in this day and age hadn't been invented by the time that this sort of place was in fashion. Most experiments go wrong. The procedure is too complicated. The prisoners either die immediately, no surprises there, you're pouring acid in their brain, or they survive but cannot do the simplest work afterwards. Again, you're pouring acid on their brain. Some survive a few days but then die of infection. Again, you've put a hole in their skull. I have found a better way to clean the instruments. How under the sun? Hang on a minute, you're not cleaning the thing? You're drilling holes in different people's brains and you're not even cleaning the thing. Oh my giddy aunt. You are a villainous old slave driver, aren't you? Alright, what was that growling noise I heard? Oh, giddy aunt, I don't know what it was, but I'm glad that we found the spooky bit of the game. I'm kind of curious to know what the enemy looks like, though. They're gangly. Oh, they've got googly eyes. I don't like them having googly eyes. Giddy aunt. Perhaps I had better get the hell out of here. I don't know how far they're going to chase me, but I doubt it's going to be a short distance. Let me see if I can work my way back to the main hall. Maybe if I get through this door, it will shut behind me, and then I'll be safe. Well, that door's still open, so maybe it won't shut. Alright, well I do seem to have eluded him, although I wouldn't mind going back in there for another quick look around, because, yes, now that one's open. I wouldn't mind having another little look around, because I feel like we didn't fully explore everything. I think I saw a couple of other rooms that I would have really rather liked to have a little look at, so, I'm going to hope that he's just despawned, rather than just lost me and is now patrolling. So let's see if we can, let's see if we can explore the rest of this place and see if there's anything else around here, because there might be another note or something with a bit more information in it. Or we might just find another boudoir. Alright, I never mind a boudoir. Let's have another match. Thank you very much. I mean, just look at that. Just look at the detailing on that. It's just, you know, look at the detail on the rug and things like that, you know. That's the sort of thing that I like to see in a game. A little bit of detail, a little bit of effort made to make the world feel alive instead of it just being a load of boxes that you're catapulting yourself through for the aim of finding an invisible key. Oh, I don't think we've been in here before. I don't know what this little pew is, but seems to be a little sort of study or something. Giddy aunt. Anything else of interest? Yes, a few more of these. These might come in handy for something, but I'm not entirely sure what. I can definitely hear him growling, which implies that he hasn't despawned. But I have no idea where he is. Oh, giddy aunt! I was about to open my great big fatuous pie hole and say, I think I can see something poking its head around the corner. Turns out that my phrase was prophetic. I simply didn't have enough time in order to get it out of my face. Right. I presume that he is one of the aborted test subjects, if you like. He is going to lose him when I come through here, isn't he? Good. I'm glad. It's been designed quite well then. Because if the developer just assumed that you just carry on after being chased and not go back there, then the game might break a little bit and not despawn him the second time around. But no, gladly it has been designed competently by a clever person. Good. I approve of clever people. I just wish I was one of them. Yeah, I presume that he is one of the people who had his skull knocked about a bit. Mind you, it said that didn't it say at the beginning that the protagonist's head hurt, and it felt like he had his head bashed in. This looks quite beautiful, but I'm also a little bit nervous of going in there. Was I one of the people that's been experimented on as well? If so, that's a bit worrying, but that might be a nice twist to have at the end. Alright, I don't think there's anything here beyond the couple of matches that we've got. So, let's go into what seems to be a little church. Indeed, just look at that. I mean, I know it's quite simple with the light rays and stuff, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. Reminds me a bit of Symphony of the Seven Souls, I think it was called. That is another very good little medieval horror game. Oh yeah, I remember that one fondly. Alright, let me see if there is anything here. Ah, this is the pulpit at which I ramble inanely for hours on end when I'm not doing it at a banquet. Right, let's just continue before I get myself into any more trouble. Aha, I think that's the lever over there. Hello, gentlemen. You're not going to come to life in a minute, are you, and murder me? I do hope not. People in the nearest village are already telling each other rumours that I had something to do with the disappearances. I told my men to leave the village alone for the time being and to look elsewhere. Oh, I see. So he's some sort of lord of the manor who tells his soldiers to go out and kidnap the local people who have skulls that are somewhat too intact. Sounds like a lovely gentleman. Absolutely, positively pleasant person. Alright, anything else around here of much interest? There's another little cupboard. I'm going to keep opening these cupboards until I find the one that takes me to Narnia. But I don't believe that this is the correct one. Alright, let's take this this lever. Thank you very much. Just check this drawer. There we are. Thank you. Okay, let's just relax. We're probably not going to get chased again. Although I am curious to see what's down there, because it looks like there was a little staircase that would lead me down to a lower level, into some sort of basement, which might be interesting to explore. Perhaps some catacombs, some skeletons in it, some entombed priests, or some other such mischief. I'm sure that priests are the type to get up to all sorts of mischief, particularly when they're dead. I mean, after a life of self-denial and service, you would imagine that you'd get some sort of just reward afterwards. At least you'd certainly hope so, but never mind. Anything else of interest? Not really. It's interesting. Some sort of blueprints for some sort of civil engineering project or something. How curious. Alright, I don't reckon there's anything here. Was there another way I could go? Off to, yes, further down into the bowels of hell. Some of the prisoners on whom the experiment was performed become dangerous after a few days. They attack everything that gets in their way. Just the other day, one of the cooks was attacked by them in the wine cellar and eaten alive. I will probably have to send one of the knights down there soon to keep things quiet. I love that he says he wants things to be quiet rather than terribly sorry for interrupting. I like that he says he wants to keep things quiet rather than he wants to keep people safe. So I don't care if people die, I just want to be able to sleep. That's all I care about. Right. Now I'm curious, was that the knight in question that was referenced in the paper? Because sorry, I'm just convinced I'm going to get chased in a moment. Because all the other suits of armour that we've seen might just be suits of armour, but that's the first one I think might actually have somebody in it, since it looks like it's sort of hiding. And it is different, yes, I thought they had a sword, but I didn't say it because it didn't sound right in my head. They didn't have a sword, they had a pike. At least I think that's what you call that thing. Alright, let's pop this on here. There we go. Only one more to find. And then we can hopefully escape and get the hell out of here. So yes, at least that confirms that what chased us was indeed one of the subjects, and that they are in fact aggressive. Whoever this message reaches, do not go down into the wine cellar. It is not safe there. A failed experiment is wreaking havoc. We were not just in the wine cellar, because we were in a cellar that had wine in it, and I'm pretty sure those are the only two qualifications you need in order to be a wine cellar. But perhaps that was just the surrogate wine cellar where we keep the the spillover, no pun intended. Alright, I'm just going to edge along the sort of the outskirts of this room until I am certain that it is safe. Well, here is more wine, so at least we have confirmed that this is a secondary wine cellar. After the first chase sequence, I am just left feeling a little paranoid, but never mind. Goodness, I always find it fascinating looking at old maps of the Earth, because everything always looks so much wider than it actually is. I never quite know why, but I like to imagine it was the the world in its younger era when it was a child and a bit overweight from eating too many sweets. But perhaps that's just another symptom of the madness, I don't know. Again, this place seems suspiciously safe. I was told there was havoc down here, and until I find havoc, I am going to be... Well, there's havoc. Oh, goodness. And here's what's left of the night. Oh, dear. Alright. Let's oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Alright. I need to get away from him. Alright. Perhaps the reason of this large room here is so that you can sort of lead him on a big circle and then get behind him. That's the sort of thing that I might put in this if I was designing it. So, let me see if I can scamper down here. I do appreciate that the items of interest, for want of better terminology, kind of glow, because with this visual effect it's going to be a little difficult to identify the lever or a note or anything like that, or realise that there's pick it up and then get eaten. Excellent. Where am I going back to? Well, this door is open, so that's encouraging. Let me just check that we only need one more lever. Yes, indeed. Alright then, this game has been designed quite competently, and I greatly approve. Alright, I know where the lever is this time, so I just need to be a bit more sensible and a bit less silly. Which admittedly is very, very difficult for me, given that I have enjoyed a long 22 years of being extremely silly. So what I'm going to try and do this time is sort of run past him by erring to the right, and see if I can get to the lever and then double back and get away from him. Because I think he comes from over there. No, he doesn't seem to come at all, but that's alright. We shan't criticise him for his marital problems. We'll just pick up this lever and get the hell out of here before we get murdered. There's something else of interest over there. I think it's just a candle, but for the sake of greediness, I have lived my life as a servant with a hole in my skull. After all, I'm going to take it anyway. Though really, you'd think if I wanted to steal anything, I'd steal some of this wine, because surely at least that would go for a few gold coins. I don't know. But this place does seem suspiciously safe. I swear, I'm going to think that this place is trying to trick me into a false sense of security. Every single moment where I am not being chased by a conga line of kooks. But no, everything seems to be absolutely fine. Good. We've got the last lever, and now we can get through that portcullis, and we can hopefully escape. I don't know if there will be more. Well, that will be it, since we've been going about 24 minutes, and it said that the game was only about half an hour, so we shall have to wait and see. But goodness knows I'm quite good at dawdling in these sorts of games, so yeah, naturally we wouldn't have quite escaped yet. So it might take me a bit longer than usual. Right, sorry, I thought the sort of the red here was some sort of writing that had been printed on the carpet, but no, I was wrong, and for that I apologise. I probably should bother stop checking those for two reasons really. One, because I've got loads of them, and two, because there's never more than one in them. So I hardly need to keep searching after I found the first one. I really do like the architecture. It's all very different. You'd imagine that things like this would end up sort of reusing rooms after a while, but no. I can just keep pretending to suppress my hiccups so that they don't get picked up on the microphone, because I'm beginning to severely regret having my lunch directly before this recording session, but never mind. I do appreciate this little moment of calm that we're being given after all of the stuff that we've been through before. Oh, good. This seems like a puzzle room. Oh gosh, how does this work? Can I interact with these? No, I can't. Alright then. Presumably I need to get some oil first in order to get them to function. Nothing hidden in this little crate. I'm gonna continue to look in here. Just in case a lion or a witch chooses to catapult itself out at high speed. We got another, yes, another, I was going to say another dragon motif, but no, there's more of a griffin than a dragon, I think. If I have not muddled up my mythological animals. Let's see if there's anything else around. What do we have here? We have some corpses. Oh my giddy yarn, they took his eyes. Man alive. Glad they took all of his unbroadcastable bits, and I'm very grateful for that. Of that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very grateful for that, because I think the exact wording that YouTube's terms of service include is object intended to arouse, and I don't think an eviscerated corpse is ever intended to arouse anybody. So maybe I can get around it on a technicality of the wording there, but I don't really have the money to hire a lawyer in order to make that argument. So you'll forgive me if I just sit here, and I'm grateful that they did not include any of those particular little body bits. Goodness, these steps go down a long way, don't they? It must be much lower down than in the wine cellar. Can I see something in the distance? Right about there, just above the cursor? I don't know, but I think I heard another growl. Can I turn my light off? Oh, I can! I can be stealthy! I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to go over here towards the light. Hooray! Right then. We're going to pretend like that wasn't stupidly dangerous. And, oh! A valve. Or a turning crank, or whatever under the sun you call these things. I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. Do I need to take this back to where I started a minute ago, or do I need to take this somewhere else? I don't know. I think he's off to the left. Yes, he's off to the left according to the surround sound. Well, that's good. I didn't know whether these new speakers were the right way around or not in terms of left and right. So I'm glad that we had a little opportunity to test the surround sound for that. Okay, I've got absolutely no idea where we came from. So until we find that infinitely long staircase again, we're going to be running around blind. Aha, here it is. Excellent. Strange sound. Is it like someone tuning a harmonica? It's an utterly bizarre noise. Never mind. Let's see if we can get back to the area with all the water, and perhaps we can use this valve in order to lower or raise an additional bridge that would let us go somewhere. Oh, I see. So probably this one controls that one, and this one controls that one, and I didn't want to use them because they were already in the right places. There we go. Excellent. Absolutely perfect. Could you jump off? You probably could, but I'm not seeing a way of escaping from there. So you'll pardon me if I pass on the offer of a little bath, and wait until the recording session is over before doing that. I think I heard another growl. Perhaps it was the audience growling at me for not shutting up. Frankly, I wouldn't blame you. But let's pretend. Oh my god! Let's pretend like I've got the faintest idea where I'm supposed to be going, or even what I'm looking for. This place looks real nice. I wish I had time to explore it and look around, but I don't. I have a small maniac chasing me, and I don't want to think about what he's going to do to me once he gets hold of me. So you'll forgive me if I just want to leave. Presumably I want to go over here, judging where this is where the light is. I do wonder if they just wanted to have like this big open area, but they didn't want you to just spend forever going through it. So so they made you run. Oh, I escaped! How wonderful and cheery. The end. Oh. All right. Thank you for playing. Oh, that was really good up until I got out of the door. Yeah, that was that was good. very nice level design, very nice build-up of story, and very nice little use of simple little puzzles. But it is let down a tiny bit by its ending. It needs a little bit more than that, I think. I don't know if that's just because I'm so addicted to horror games that I don't want there to be a happily ever after, but I feel like at the very least, if there was if the final chase was different somehow, perhaps, like instead of being chased by another one of the servants, maybe you're chased by the master, for example, who has used the protagonist as an experiment, and maybe this is finally like the first successful experiment, that he's created a servant that isn't violent and isn't going to die immediately, and then he doesn't want to let me go, he doesn't want to let me escape, so then he chases after me and either sort of catches me or doesn't. I don't know. I'm pulling ideas out of my unmentionable areas. So yeah, I feel like with a bit more on the ending, that could be really nice, actually, because I really do like the level design, and I always love a nice medieval game. So yeah, that was rather good. With a little update to do a bit more with the ending, to give it a more satisfying finish. I think that could be really nice. But I'll keep my eye on this to see if this developer makes anything else, or if they choose to update this in the future. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I rather did. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.